Your LG oven is no longer heating. You saw the F9 code pop up on the range's display and searched online for answers. If you can handle a screwdriver and can follow instructions, you'll likely be able to fix the broken LG oven yourself and save anywhere between $200 and $500. In this video, we'll show you how we did it, as well as some tips to help you along the way. The most common and easiest fix is to replace the igniter. While the problem could be a bad oven sensor or main PCB, the most likely culprit is the igniter. The LG part number is highlighted on the screen above, and here are the gas ranges that are compatible with this igniter. Thankfully, you don't have to buy from LG directly and pay $200 for the part. Instead, pick it up from Amazon for a fraction of the price. Because igniters are delicate and prone to degradation if touched by oily fingers, it is highly recommended that you wrap the new unit in foam or some other similar protector. Only at the last moment do you remove it from the protection and attach it to the oven. Okay, you've got your replacement part and you have your oven. The next step is to disconnect the power cord after pulling your oven away from the wall. Next, unlock the hinges of the front door. After that is done, open the door about 5 degrees and slowly lift up the door by bear hugging it. With the door off, it is time to remove the back cover of the oven. Here, I use a power tool to speed up removal. When I put these screws back in later, I do it by hand to avoid cross-threading. The back cover has many rounded screws seen circled in yellow. There are 2 flat top screws highlighted in orange. Whether these need to be placed back in their original locations is up for you to decide, but that's what I did. I collected screws and placed them in a magnetic cup to keep from losing them. This is an item from the automotive world. It isn't necessary, but it's super helpful in my opinion. With the back cover removed, you're able to see the connector for the igniter. Don't do anything in this area just yet. For right now, let's turn to the inside. The fan cover is the next item that needs to be removed. Another tool that isn't essential, but is nice, is a telescoping magnetic pickup tool. It helps to pull the screws out from the back of the oven. Next, we need to remove the burner case so we can finally expose the igniter. It is held on by 6 screws around the outside of the case. The one at the bottom middle can be a little tricky to see and remove, but you got this. With the burner case removed, we can now see the burner assembly, the U-shaped thingy, and the igniter towards the top right of the U. Next, let's move to the back so we can disconnect the igniter connector. As you can see here, I wrote with a permanent marker the date of the repair. Next, we remove the burner assembly by using a wrench to loosen this brass fitting. With the brass fitting pushed down, take a screwdriver and remove the top screw at the top of the assembly. On the inside of the oven, the burner assembly is connected with 3 screws, the 2 on the U and the one next to the igniter. Remove all 3 so the U-shaped burner assembly can be pulled out. By removing this part, you can now pull the igniter connector through the hole and discard the old igniter. Before discarding the old igniter, you need to take the metal bracket off of it so you can attach it to the new igniter. With the bracket on the new igniter, place the new connector back through the hole and connect it to the harness on the back of the oven. Attach the burner assembly with 2 screws, then carefully remove the igniter protector and screw the 3rd screw back in, affixing the new part to the inside of the oven. At this point, you can proceed working backwards and put the items back in reverse order. Before putting everything back together, you can plug the oven back into the wall and push the door ajar button to fake the system into thinking the door is shut. When these 2 conditions are met, you can turn the bake setting on and wait patiently to see if the igniter will glow and if the oven starts to warm. If you are successful and the oven starts to warm up, turn the oven off and go back to putting the pieces back together. At this point, do a little dance and celebrate a job well done. As mentioned earlier, we've linked all of these items in the video description below, which, by the way, if you click one of those links and buy something, shortly after I might get a small kickback. Also, there's a new way to help small creators as myself via the super thanks button below the video. And of course, it wouldn't be a video from the internet if I didn't ask for a subscribe. At least my pleading was at the end of the video, so you didn't have to sit through that before getting the information you came for. Regardless of what you may or may not do, I appreciate your time. Feel free to drop a comment below if you have any questions. I rarely let one go without a response.